Good evening. I'll call the West Mead Township Board of Supervisors meeting for March 2023 to order. Roll call.
Jordan?
Here.
Charles?
Here.
Bovard?
Here. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please note that all supervisors' public meetings are subject to public and/or private audio and video recording. Is there any public comment on agenda items? Hearing none, please note that public comment will also be received during each agenda item and at the end of the meeting. I'll entertain a motion to approve the February 14th, 2023 study session and regular meeting minutes as presented in our packets.
So moved.
Second. Discussion? Roll call?
Jordan?
Yes.
Charles?
Yes.
Bovard?
Yes. Entertain a motion to accept the treasurer's reports for February 2023 and approve the payment of bills in the amount of $222,268.81, subject to audit.
I'll make that motion.
Second. Discussion?
Paying bills.
A lot of that includes the ARPA money, so that's a big chunk of it, was the most of that.
And that was for the trucks.
Yeah, it was for the furnaces, trucks, the cabin chassis, and then the electric work, so. Yeah, our normal bills were only 66,000. The 155,000 is all the
Out of the
ARPA.
ARPA.
Yep, and we had already budgeted and figured on those fees, those expenses.
Any other discussion? Roll call?
Jordan?
Yes.
Charles?
Yes.
Bovard?
Yes. Municipal reports. Police Chief Chip Brown is absent this evening. We'll skip that. The report is in our packet, so anybody wants to see it. John, with the road report since our last meeting?
For the last month, we had actually 10 days of winter maintenance that put us out there either plowing or putting salt or thawing agents down on the road. We had some equipment prep and repairs, stuff trying to get ready for the 2023 summer paving projects that we need to do. We had a fair amount of work to the paver, the roller, and the tar distributor. Let's see here. We also had some trees go down in regards to the wind and the rain that we had there a few weeks back. So we actually had to address those, and we've got a fair amount of trees yet that we need to try to get down, and some brush that we need to get cut yet. So, but we had to clean those ones up due to the weather. We also had some plugged culverts, drains after the heavy rain, and so we took a couple of days, and we actually took the vacuum out and vacuumed out the ditches to the best of our ability to get rid of the leftover leaves and stuff that had been blown into the ditches, you know, from last fall. We actually did that on both sides of the township. We also started to cold patch some potholes throughout the township on both sides. Again, we've got some holes out there now that just timing. And last thing that we've been trying to stay up on repairing our road signs and post and stop lights and the amber lights at our intersections. And we've had some signs run over and knocked down and stuff like that. So, but you know, it put us out there trying to get some of that stuff fixed back up.
Job security.
I guess. People can't stay on the road, you know. So, yeah.
All right, any questions, comments for John? No. Thank you very much. Jill, with the zoning report for the month?
For the month of February, we had one demolition and one sign installation. It was a replacement for supports out on Star Route. It was existing, they just put their sign in place of what was there for $740.
And off to a slow start for
Yes.
this year.
Yes.
Hopefully it picks up.
With the price of things and, you know, doesn't surprise me, I guess.
All right, move on to regular business. I'll entertain a motion to reappoint Donald Goldstein for a 4-year term ending April 2027 on the West Mead Township Planning Commission.
Make that motion.
Second.
Discussion on the motion. Mr. Goldstein, he's been on the Planning Commission for quite some time, I believe.
He's actually one of the newer members. He's
Oh.
only, this'll be
Second.
his second
Yeah,
term.
right.
Yeah, but he is a wealth of knowledge for zoning issues, and says we're working on the zoning ordinance. That's a good thing, so.
Any other discussion on that motion? Roll call?
Jordan?
Yes.
Charles?
Yes.
Bovard?
Yes. Item number 2, I'll entertain a motion to ratify the termination of Bodie McClintock as a full-time road department equipment operator laborer with the West Mead Township Road Department effective February 10th, 2023.
Make that motion.
Second.
Discussion, should it be a resignation? He resigned, didn't he?
Yeah, we just always call it termination, whether it's voluntary or, but yeah, if you want to say resignation, if you want to change it, we can.
That doesn't, no. His employment's terminated one way or another, I guess.
Right.
Or any other discussion?
No.
Roll call?
Jordan?
Yes.
Charles?
Yes.
Bovard?
Yes. Item number 3, entertain a motion to ratify to approve the hiring of James Hutchison as a probationary full-time road equipment operator laborer with the West Mead Township Road Department at the rate of $18 per hour, effective March 1st, 2023.
Make that motion.
Second.
Discussion on that motion.
James comes with some experience in his last jobs and stuff like that, so actually there's 3 of the guys that are working right now as we speak, so, and he's one of them, so he seems to be doing real well and fitting in good, so.
Any other discussion? Roll call?
Jordan?
Yes.
Charles?
Yes.
Bovard?
Yes. Item 4, entertain a motion to ratify to approve the hiring of Jonathan Greer as a probationary full-time road equipment operator laborer with the West Mead Township Road Department at the rate of $18 per hour effective March 3rd, 2023.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Discussion on that motion.
Jonathan, he came from Davy Tree Company, and he comes with a fair amount of experience with trees, tree trimming, saws, chainsaw type work. He's got a ways to go on quite a bit of the other stuff, but I think he's young and aggressive and ambitious, so hopefully he can get the CDL license thing under control. He has to do that as well, so, but anyhow, I think at this point, everything looks pretty good.
Any other discussion? Roll call?
Jordan?
Yes.
Charles?
Yes.
Bovard?
Yes. Item 5, review the cleanup day quotes. Jill, do you want to go over what you got?
Sure, we sent out 6 different companies, and we actually only received 2 quotes. So not as many this year as normal. Pro Waste bid on the garbage. They're out of Erie. 30-yard containers, $320 each container, and then $62 per ton per disposal. Lincoln Recycling bid on the metals. So the metal white goods are $150 for each 30-yard container, and then $175 they will pay the township per gross ton for disposal of per ton. Then Freon items, the containers are $150 each with a $10 per item disposal fee. And none of them, they do not want propane tanks. So once again, we did that kind of last year. And no electronics, no household hazardous waste as far as a lot of electronics, computers, TVs, any of that. Nobody wanted to give us quotes on or come up there. It's easier just to take them down to Lincoln Recycling. You may have to pay, but at least they'll take them.
Jill, how much this year with the are we paying above we did last year for the tonnage, or for per ton on the?
It's actually, believe it or not, it was are you talking about the garbage?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like $58 per ton, and the containers were like $20 more. So
It's
it's
about more,
actually
about the same.
pretty much the same price.
Okay.
So actually, depending on how many tons we have, because some years we have a lot more garbage
Yeah,
that
last year
people
was
bring
kind
in.
of a slow year.
Yeah. So that can change the actual cost of it, but we're doing it just the one day and.
Yeah. Okay. Good enough.
All right, so I will now entertain a motion to award the contracts to Lincoln Recycling for the metals and Pro Waste Services for the trash items.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion on the motion?
Pro Waste is new to us, so hopefully they can keep up with us.
And he was in when he dropped everything off, and then he came back to see what the bids were, what the quotes were. And I told him that he would meet with you and go over
I'd like to
everything.
talk to him
Yep.
long before.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Tomorrow
I don't want
morning.
there to
I'm
be
gonna
any
get him the
mistakes or any-
contract.
any surprises.
Right. He's gonna give you the dispatch numbers and all of that like you normally have.
Right.
Roll call?
Jordan?
Yes.
Charles?
Yes.
Bovar?
Yes. All right. Cleanup Day will be held at the Crawford County Fairgrounds on Saturday, May 20th, from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. No propane tanks, no loose shingles, no uncontained small items. We will take batteries. As Joe mentioned, electronics will not be accepted, but you can take those to Lincoln Recycling anytime for a fee. All right. Item number 6. I will entertain a motion to adopt resolution number 2023-4, authorizing various supplemental appropriations for the 2023 budget, specifically for the purchase of vehicle, road, and fire equipment, and to offset lost revenue due to the coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic under the American Rescue Plan Act in the amount of $60,975. Not even sure what I just read. Anyway, this resolution amends resolution number 2022-3, number 2022-11, and number 2023-3, as there were additional costs incurred in the fund set aside to be used towards the purchase of the bed, hydraulics, and upfitting truck from Stevenson Equipment for the road department.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Discussion. It cost us a little bit more money.
A little. Not, it was about $1,000, right?
Yeah, because we originally did everything by, when the ARPA money kind of came about, we authorized by resolution, just so we have kind of a running tally total of everything.
Right.
So that's why this now, because we had not paid for the cabin chassis, we paid for the cabin chassis last month, but this is for the upfitting for the one truck. So we're getting down there for the ARPA funds as far as spending, down the monies before the time frame wears out at the end of 2024.
Okay, any other discussion? Roll call?
Jordan?
Yes.
Charles?
Yes.
Bovar?
Yes. Item number 7. Brian Learn has requested fireworks for his wedding, I believe. An application for fireworks displayed by Brian Learn in Kellner's Fireworks on May 27th, 2023 at the Harper Event Venue on Leslie Road at Dixon Road at approximately 9:30 p.m. The application is in order with the fire chief's signature and a certificate of insurance naming West Mead Township and the fire department as additional insureds. So I will entertain a motion to adopt resolution number 2023-5, approving the application and the issuance of a permit.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
It's basically the same thing we do for the fairgrounds, so.
And the 4th of July
Yeah,
celebration
and
for the church.
yeah. Yep.
Roll call?
Jordan?
Yes.
Charles?
Yes.
Hobart?
Yes. Lots of resolutions tonight. Item number 8. I'll entertain a motion to adopt resolution number 2023-6, authorizing an amendment to the Articles of Incorporation of the Meadville Area Sewer Authority, extending the life of the authority for a period of 50 years on behalf and for the benefit of all City of Meadville and West Mead Township customers, as well as the public at large. Anybody want to make that a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Dis-
Second it.
And discussion on that motion, Alan? would you-
Yeah, essentially what's happened is the Meadville Area Sewer Authority is in the process of obtaining funding to make certain improvements to the sewer treatment plant and its related facilities. And they're basically having it financed through Penvest, which is a state organization that assists multiple municipalities and governmental units in securing improvements to their infrastructures. And they were fortunate enough to get some good financing, which we'll discuss again in item number 9. But as a result, this sewer authority was formed in, I think, 1997, and it had, under the Municipal Authorities Act in Pennsylvania, a municipal authority cannot have a life in excess of 50 years. And so in order to secure the loans and everything that they need from the financing from Penvest, at this point in time, they need to extend the existence of the authority for another 50 years. And this resolution approves of that extension of the existence of that authority. And that's necessary, frankly, because we formed the authority with the City of Meadville back in 1997. And part of the goal here is to maintain proper sewer services for the customers in West Mead Township that require that. And this will enable that to occur. So.
And the City of Meadville has already done this, or is it also in the process of doing it?
I think that, I think that they're going to approve it as well, yes. That's my understanding.
Any other discussion? Nope. Hearing none, roll call?
Jordan?
Yes.
Charles?
Yes.
Hobart?
Yes. Item 9, I'll entertain a motion to adopt ordinance number 2023-1, authorizing the Meadville Area Sewer Authority to incur lease rental debt for 30 years with the Pennsylvania Infrastructure Investment Authority, also known as Penvest, in the amounts of $11,459,442 and $412,950 in connection with the construction, alterations, and improvements to the wastewater treatment plant and sewer facilities, and in compliance with the Pennsylvania Local Government Unit Debt Act, LGUDA.
Yeah. Laguda.
Yeah, Laguda.
That's commonly pronounced, but yes.
To become effective March 24th, 2023. So do I have a motion?
Yeah, I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
And solicitors' comments?
Laguda, thanks you. This is, again, this all relates to the financing that the Meadville Area Sewer Authority is acquiring in order to make the improvements to their sewer treatment plant and its facilities. And I'm not able to tell you exactly what those improvements consist of, but I know that they're essentially making changes to the system that are supposed to provide for a more economical and probably a system that will treat within the parameters regulated under the state law and federal law. And so it's necessary that they get done, or at least that's my understanding. Just so you know, the Penvest is financing this over a 30-year period, and that financing includes $15 million in grants that Penvest is providing for the project, so that when you see that we are asked to provide guarantees for loans which total approximately $12 million, you need to know that there's a benefit that the sewer authority has acquired by way of grants that exceed that amount in that proportion. Of the $12 million, this ordinance, if approved, would authorize the township to enter into guarantee agreements with Penvest for the repayment of any portion of $3,700,000. It's a proportional amount of the total of 12. In other words, the city of Meadville will guarantee the remainder of the loans, which will be 65.25% of the loans that are being issued by Penvest to Massa. And we're only obligated to guarantee the repayment of 31.25%, which is a prorated amount based on the usage of the system by the respective municipalities. So that we're only being asked to, again, guarantee the amount of $3,710,000, that portion of the total of the $12 million. And it's over a 30-year period, and you have to realize that this is all contingent. In other words, in order to acquire this loan, Massa has to guarantee, and with an agreement with Penvest, that it will repay those out of revenues acquired from the operation of the system. In other words, customers of the sewer authority will be paying for the repayment of those loans in whole. And that's the nature of the agreements that are entered into between Massa and Penvest. And they have to set rates that will accomplish that goal of repaying the amounts that are needed for the project. And so that the only reason that the guarantees would ever come into play is for some reason, Massa wasn't able to make payments when due. And obviously, if that happens, there will be more accommodations being made and considered at that time as well. We did a similar thing when the sewer system was built. We guaranteed a portion of the loans that were utilized to build the system to begin with back in the late 90s. And as far as I know, we never had to pay a dime on any of those. And the expectation is that that should remain the same for the full term of this loan. So if you have any other questions, I'll try to answer them. This is part of the process that we have to go through in order to get that financing.
Are there any citizens' comments? Any supervisors'
Well,
comments?
and another thing too, so the residents know, we have no debt. The debt was paid off on the original plan.
That's correct, yes.
That is zero.
Yes.
Well, it's been used enough now, and it's old enough now it needs rebuilt, and one of our sewer board members said that if they're updating and going with newer ways to the way they're treating the sewer and everything, so we have to have it, because our sewer has to be treated, and DEP is the one that dictates how we have to do it and everything, so it's something we have to do.
And my understanding, again, from your board member, was that the objective here is also to save cost for the
Yes.
treatment of the
Yes.
sewage as well by some of these improvements. So.
Yes.
Okay, any other discussion on the motion? Roll call?
I'll make that a motion.
Oh, you already did.
You
Oh,
approve the motion?
yeah, I approve.
Roll call.
The only thing I will say is, on here, Alan,
Oh, I'm
it
sorry, I
says
forgot.
413,000.
And that's what's in the
950.
funding offer.
Okay, and because we had
Yeah.
412, I just wanted to be sure.
Yes.
Yeah, the funding offer that was made by Penvest indicates the loan amount of the authority would be $413,950.
Yeah, 413,950, not the 412,950
Right,
that
that's
I
correct,
read.
yes.
That was wrong. All right, you're all still good with that?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Roll call?
Jordan?
Yes.
Charles?
Yes.
Hobart?
Yes. Sorry about that. You told me to say that. and it's so fine.
I just wanted to make sure we had it right,
Okay.
and not to
All right.
hold anything up.
All right, all done with that. Items of business. Got a few notes here. Judith's Jig Memorial 5K Run and Walk will be held on March 18th, 2023, beginning at 10 a.m. They'll be starting and ending at Diamond Park in Meadville, traveling out Liberty Street to Rand's Bar and Grill and back. So if you're in that area, please slow down. Between March 2023 and November 2023, PennDOT will be contracting with Tri-State Traffic Data to collect traffic data information on various roadways located in the township, and to update critical safety management inventory under the Federal Highway, FHWA's Model Inventory of Roadway Elements, Meyer. And the final note, West Mead Township is seeking interested residents to serve on the West Mead Township Zoning Hearing Board, as well as we keep a list of interested individuals should openings on any boards occur. For additional information, please contact Jill, our secretary, at 814-336-1271 or by email at westmead@westmead.org. Is there any public comment at this time? No? Supervisors, final comment.
I have nothing tonight, Tom.
John?
Winter's here.
Back.
Yeah,
Maybe the most snow we've had this winter.
probably at one time. Just slow down and pay attention is the main thing. Doing the best we can to keep the roads clear, but the way the wind's blowing, it's a difficult task, so.
I think you guys do a pretty good job with what you have to work with. All right. Wish everybody a happy St. Patrick's Day. Be safe. Other than that, nothing else. Entertain a motion to adjourn. So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call?
Gordon?
Yes.
Charles?
Yes.
Hobart?
Yes. Thank you very much. Have a nice evening.
This is for John.